I'm Jeff Hunt. He's Bill Thorpe. It's Friday. Bill, I'm just going to read this text message.
Ooh, cool.
By the way, 710 KNUS Denver.
And AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs.
I'm going to read this to you, and if you didn't know anything about the last hour, you would love this text message.
Excellent.
This
What
is
is
from
this?
Clem.
I'm excited.
Bill, I used to work in a flower shop. The fresh cut flowers give off a bad odor. My boss told me it was how the flowers scream. You're right about the grass.
Excellent.
Screaming
My friend.
Flowers on the Jeff and Bill show.
It's a defensive mechanism. It's kind of cool. There's even there are flowers that will spread the scent to other flowers and tell them that things are being attacked. And there are certain insects that go after certain things on the flower. And again, we won't get too deep into the all the nature stuff.
All of our listeners.
But
right
what'll
now.
happen is there's some types of the flowers that'll emit a scent, and then the insects and stuff will switch to a different set of plants until they start emitting it as well. So they kind of, what they do is the plants in the area will trade the insects and sometimes the pests back and forth as they do this defensive mechanism. It's kind of cool to watch, actually.
Speaking of screaming flowers, now it's time for Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Hey, good morning. I'm screaming, and it's TGIF, 50 and sunny, great for the flowers in Denver, and 51 in the Springs, expecting highs in the upper 60s today. News sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning. For a new home heating and cooling system, contact your Lennox dealer, Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at pastorcamp.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. Our top story.
She had a lot of details when it comes to parties and friends that have nothing to do with Epstein, so she says.
Lauren Boebert on with Jeff and Billy this morning and discussing Hillary Rotten Clinton and her testimony on Satan Epstein on Thursday.
But then any direct question about Epstein, their relationships, why Ghislaine Maxwell was at her Chelsea's wedding, or why Epstein was donating so much to the Clinton Foundation or the Clinton Global Initiative, or why her husband was going to the island, or what she said to her husband when she found out he went to the island, or when her husband found out that he was a sexual predator. And all of those questions had the answers of, I do not recall.
And it was ugly. Then Boebert took a photo, shared it with Benny Johnson. She gave him permission to publish it. So, everyone got all upset about that. And then they took a pause and heard the complaints from Hillary. But Boebert says, hopefully we will see that video soon. Hopefully in the next 24 hours. May be interesting. I'm not sure. Today it is Slick Willie's turn. That should be fun. Colorado Springs is seeing some relief in its housing market. According to the Pikes Peak Housing Network's new 2025 State of Housing report released Thursday, Executive Director Jill Gabler.
For both rental housing and home ownership, I would suggest that it's starting to get a little bit better.
Home prices are slightly decreasing, and the growing number of rental properties is helping push rents down, giving residents more options. Gabler says the trend could make it easier for people, especially younger buyers, to eventually purchase a home, though affordability remains a challenge, as we all know. Wholesale prices rose sharply in January, according to the Labor Department. The Producer Price Index surged 0.5% last month, nearly twice what economists expected. Meanwhile, stocks have been sharply lower on Wall Street. A lot of people anticipating and hoping this doesn't happen, but an endless war in Iran, and some people in Israel are evidently giddy over it, some people in the government. And then you have the ambassador. Yep, go ahead.
I was going to say, I've heard from people to pay attention to Friday night, that President Trump tends to act Friday, at the latest Saturday, because it doesn't affect the markets as much.
Yeah, that's true. No, I've heard the same thing. So
tonight might be the night.
Hopefully nothing happens. We don't need to get into this. This is ridiculous. I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like the ambassador to Israel from the United States of America, Mike Huckabee, telling Israelis here the difference between Israelis and Americans. And he was, by the way, is early, I think it's 2004. He's at lunch. He's in Tel Aviv with a friend, and this is what happens. He has to go to the basement of a restaurant.
All of a sudden, the Iron Dome, the siren goes off, and the Iron Dome intercepts a rocket from Gaza right above our heads. You can hear it and see it. Everybody goes to the shelter. I was amazed. Nobody was rushing. Nobody was pushing or shoving, but everyone methodically, no one ignored it, but everyone went down, got in the shelter, which was in the basement of the restaurant, stood there, chatted. When the all clear came, everybody just methodically got up and went back and finished their now cold lunch. And it was almost, and I was just thinking, had this happened in America? I mean, people would have been screaming and yelling and, calling. I don't think I'm going to make it. And
yeah, maybe the Americans, Mike. I don't know. I know a lot of first responders and heroes and brave people who wouldn't have done that. And by the way, we don't want that. Okay, so let's stop. Elevating other people in other countries, comparing Americans. If there are rockets being launched over here, there are plenty of brave Americans who I know who would rush toward those buildings, like first responders, maybe firemen and police in New York City on 9/11. Do you remember that, Mike? You had to think about that, I think. But no, I'm crazy. All right, the fellas don't like watching Candace. I do, though. Keep seeking the truth. In Charlie's case, instead of the Fed slop, should be another.
What is the truth? What is the truth? That there's a time
let's play this.
School?
Well, let's play this first. I just like this soundbite. So
it's almost like they're like. They try to cast a spell every time they lie, but it doesn't land anymore. It doesn't land, and they kind of know it doesn't land. All of the money, we're saying no to the money. We're recognizing the influencer campaigns, the screaming, the theatrics. You cannot watch this series. Candace is a demon. Oh my gosh. How dare she look into what school Erica went into? How dare she notice that she's lying? I always want you guys to just feel encouraged because none of us were awake to this.
So, yeah, I mean, I love it. Just keep on doing it.
Wait,
hang on. She's been right about anything.
Wait. Did Candace just say
she's
woke?
She's been right about a lot.
No, Candace just said she's woke. She just said that she's awake to this. She's woke.
Yeah.
Candace is woke.
She's awake. She's not woke.
Yeah, she's woke. No, she's woke. She just said.
She's awake.
She and the group are woke.
To that.
They're woke because, the idea behind woke originally was that you were opening your eyes to see the discrepancies in what is happening inside of the society and how different groups are treated differently. Kind of what she's saying. Candace is woke.
I hear. I'm going to watch her today again.
I don't know how you don't.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to. You could just use the time travel thing at the school and go back.
I end up with the worst headaches trying to listen to her. I have a form, like a light form of ADD. It is nothing compared to what that woman has. I can't follow a single line of her logic. It bounces around everywhere at this point. And Erica Kirk, we may not know if she's a man or a woman, and time travel, Jewish elementary. What?
Follow the.
Follow what?
The history. Follow the history. I mean, what she was pointing out, I didn't watch. I think I watched half of it maybe yesterday. But what she's saying is the story that Erica gives is not really true.
Okay, so I got a question. The story that Erica gives. So I've been following this recently. What is the significance of the claim about what elementary school she went to? What is I don't understand the significance in the timeline of why that matters.
Because the Bushes were involved.
Yeah, maybe.
But what?
I'm not kidding you.
Maybe.
The Bushes and then like
I can't figure out
The
what does that mean?
Rothschilds.
the Rothschilds. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
them. Right?
So-
and like
so wait.
Erica, basically Erica was this plant to go after Charlie, and she seduced him in all the wrong ways.
Well, hang on a sec. But aren't we talking about
You
her?
said it.
But wait, aren't
No, that's just-
but hold on.
I've seen crazier things happen.
Wait, but I'm again, God. I mean, I'm not the sharpest spoon in the drawer. But so explain to me and walk me through why where she goes to school, elementary age, is part of a plot or a plan to eventually kill Charlie, who also would be in elementary school. What I'm curious about is how do the power brokers identify an elementary school kid that then has to be killed in his 20s based on what they think or know he's going to
She's a Manchurian candidate, Bill. You don't understand.
But no, but but created
With
for
time
what?
travel
I know,
capabilities.
but I can't figure out what she's created for, because Charlie Kirk, at the time this narrative Candace is playing with, Charlie Kirk isn't a thing. He's just bothering people in classes and trying to run for class president.
She was in waiting in Arizona.
For what?
For
That's
Charlie.
the issue.
That was the whole setup.
Yeah, but the issue is that means she would have to be the idea is it's the anticipation of knowing that Charlie will exist. That's what I can't wrap my head around in all of Candace Owens's conspiracy theories. I mean, she can do whatever the heck she wants, and we can debunk stuff about when they meet and forward. But this backwards retcon of what her history is, and somehow that lays into a large conspiracy, that means that whoever's in charge would have to somehow have some sort of advanced knowledge of what or who Charlie is, or just creating these people that in case someone or something happens, they then will romantically involve and kill them? This is so freaking weird about the idea that in the elementary school they have targeted Charlie as a future problem to the universe.
Bill, time travel.
I don't
With
understand.
the Rothschilds and the Bushes.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead,
guess that's
Blake.
it.
I know you got to get to
No,
it.
you got have a
Hey,
good
you gotta
weekend.
run, man. Have a good weekend.
51 in the Springs, 50 in Denver. That's the latest. I'm Blake Olson. More of the Jeff and Bill Show ahead on News Talk 710 KNUS in Denver, and now on AM 1460 and FM 101.1. The Answer in Colorado Springs. This is where you hear both sides, and sometimes three different sides. We are the Jeff and Bill Show.
The recent spell of some weather, especially in the mountains, is moving off to the east, and Colorado will sort of fight itself in between weather systems for a few days. We're going to continue to have unseasonably mild Pacific air flow into Colorado. While there will be some colder air heading into the Plain States this weekend, it'll stay east of Denver and Colorado Springs. So the I-25 corridor will continue with our spring-like temperatures as we wrap up February, head to March. We're going to be 50s and 60s today for Denver and Colorado Springs, and well into the 60s for Friday, Saturday, and near 60 Sunday. Now, as we get into Sunday through Tuesday of next week, there is a low pressure system that'll come off the California coast and will spread showers into Colorado, mountain snow again, rain and snow showers in low elevations, and a little bit of a modest cooling trend late in the weekend and especially by early next week. Until then, though, spring-like conditions for the Front Range will continue. Meteorologist Don Day in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
710 KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs, and time travel too.
All along the Front Range, this is the Jeff and Bill Show where you get both sides. Bill, I saw this guy on Instagram the other day. He was talking about how he picks his travel destinations based upon recent terrorist attacks.
Is he married? Because I don't know how he explains that to his wife.
No, he was not
Okay.
married, but his
that might explain why he's not married.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, honey, I know where we're going to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Grab your bags.
Yeah, I have no idea where the honeymoon is. We're going to wait until something blows up.
His justification, though, was interesting. He goes, look, they got it out of their system. So the attack's taken place. It's out of its system. Security at high levels right now. Everybody's paying attention. Everyone's vigilant. The entire eyes are upon you. That's where I go, and I get everything more affordable, and everything's easier, and I don't have to deal with crowds. He talked about how he went on a tour bus, and he was the only one on it. And this was like after a terrorist attack in Turkey or something like that. He's like, but it was fine. I got there for $250 and no problems, and everything was fine. And I raised this because yesterday we had the former acting director of the DEA, like the top dog on. And we asked him about Mexico, and he said, don't go to Mexico. It's an ISIS camp right now with all the cartel activities. And then a little bit later, we were talking to Mike Boyle of the restaurant show, who's regularly visiting Mexico. He goes, no, it's great. And in fact, he sent us pictures this morning, video down there on the beach of Mexico, and it looks fine. So has it gotten that out of its system with the cartels? Should you go to Mexico? Well, he joins us now, the beloved host of the Mike Boyle Restaurant Show. You hear her on 710 KNUS in Denver and down in Colorado Springs as well on 1460
AM 1460 and FM 101.1 The Answer. And Jeff, I think Mike was kind of bragging. He's like, look where I hang out with people in Puerto Vallarta Beach, and you guys are stuck here. I think he was kind of bragging on his vacation. It's a vacation flex. And I'm jealous.
It's a much better vacation than what we're having.
I'm 110% jealous.
Mike Boyle, the Restaurant Show. Good morning, Mike. Thanks for joining the Jeff and Bill Show.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I have to tell you something. I could have written that article that you just referenced. It really is the case. You know what? People like having a police officer live in their neighborhood, right? Makes them feel a little safer. You know, you go down to Mexico and people say, I saw police walking up and down the beach. Yeah, isn't that a good thing? You go to Honolulu and there's a police station on Waikiki Beach that makes you feel a little better. I'm just going to tell you something. The DEA says don't go. The CIA says don't go. The State Department says if you listen to the State Department travel advisories, the only place you'd vacation is Disneyland. And so consequently, I just think that Mexico does a great job. They did $36.7 billion in tourism last year. It is the second largest revenue producer behind oil for the country of Mexico. And the government, whatever you want to say about the presidents in the pocket of the cartels, they keep those tourist areas fine. And I've driven all over Mexico. I've got a picture of me taking my daughter solo, 3 months old, not me, her, 3 months old, to Mexico and wandering around with the diaper bag. I think it's an absolutely fabulous country. And I looked up the murder rate for Puerto Vallarta. And if you want to know where not to go, if you want to compare murder rates, you might not want to go to Chicago or Miami, Atlanta, Philadelphia, D.C., New Orleans. So I talked to a friend of mine, and he said, I'm in the lobby. We're getting ready to go out to the pool. This is in Puerto Vallarta. He says there are people in the lobby wailing hysterically, oh, my God, I can't get out. What if we get killed? Who's going to raise my kids? The same people that's going to raise your kids if you're one of the 1 million people killed a year in car accidents in the United States. I love Mexico. I'm going May 5th. You guys want to go with me? It would be a party.
Cinco de Mayo in Mexico, Billy. I heard they don't celebrate it down there, though. Do they celebrate Cinco de Mayo like we do here?
at the hotel we'll be going to, yes, they will, because it's all the gringos that want to celebrate.
Now, I can't
Gringo
go.
trip to Mexico.
I would love to go. It's a wonderful opportunity, Mike. It would be fantastic to go with you, but I can't because the DEA says I can't go. No, it's because I'm in the citizen class at that time with former talk show host Stephen Tubbs, etc.
Did you sign up for that?
Yeah, I got my whole thing and my itinerary and crap yesterday. So yeah, I'm all buttoned up. So yeah, and the thing doesn't end until the 6th, so I can't go with you. The DEA says I got to be here for graduation and get a certificate, and I've learned I don't tell them no, so I won't be here.
Well, if anything comes up and you want to let me know about it, May 5th I will be at the airport with a group of listeners. I called the travel agent yesterday just out of curiosity. He said he got 2 phone calls from people that he's put in Puerto Vallarta. They're down there. They said it's life as usual. I said, have you had any calls from the people that have signed up for our group expressing any reservations? And he said, not one. So I think that these are people that are sophisticated travelers, and they don't waffle with the news. You know what I'm saying? If it bleeds, it leads, and that's the way we portray Mexico. If somebody dies of alcohol poisoning at a resort in Cancun, it makes the headline news. Well, you know what? There's probably people, unfortunately, dying of alcohol poisoning every frat season in the colleges when they start in the fall. You know what I mean? I don't want to sound like I'm minimizing it. I don't want to sound like I'm downplaying it, but I've never gone anywhere in Mexico that I didn't feel just 100% welcome. And don't forget, when we take that baseball equipment down every year, I'm going out to villages where they don't speak a word of English. They've maybe never even seen a gringo, and I just feel tremendously safe.
That's Mike Boyle Restaurant Show. So just to be clear, everybody with those spring break trips, looking at what happened this last week,
yes,
you think
yes.
Your recommendation, continue with the trip.
Absolutely. Go on down there and have a great time. And I do think the article makes you know what, whenever we have a scare here, what do? We ramp up the police activity around that situation, Jeff. And I do think that it's right. I think that Mexico probably is safer now than it was a month ago, and it was safe then.
Mike Boyle, speaking of activities, this Saturday, the mother of all barbecue meal deals at Dickey's Barbecue Pit down in Colorado Springs. Tell our listeners all about it, because this is great.
Yes, sir. We are going to the Dickey's Barbecue on Austin Bluffs, just east of Academy. We're doing what's known as a Boyle Lunch Bunch. My name is Mike Boyle. I'm inviting you to lunch, and we'll have a bunch of people because we get you a great meal and a great deal. I've certainly said that many times in the past. We are doing $32.95 racks of ribs for $15. Dine in or take out, get as many as you want. $5 sandwiches, pulled pork, brisket, ham, chicken, $5. Sides, $2. It's one of these Boyle meal deals. We do them periodically in both Denver and Colorado Springs, and they are wildly received. All the information is on my website at mikeboyle.com.
All at the website, mikeboyle.com this Saturday. Mother of all barbecue meal deals. And the recommendation, go to Mexico. Have a good time. You heard it directly from Mike Boyle. Sir, thank you for your time this morning.
Yes, thank you. Enjoy Dickey's, and you could if you wanted to bring ribs back for us, and just it's not a peer pressure thing. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't want to threaten listeners, but I have invited Jeff and Bill to come to some of these events in the future. So we would love to have you. They'd love to meet you, and folks, these meals, those that have been know that it's a great deal. And you, Bill, you, Jeff, you'll find out that we put out great food, and we put out a bunch of it for a very fair price.
I can't wait.
Last week we had chicken salad.
Chicken salad chick.
Dude,
I have been craving that chicken salad chick like all week.
I know. It's opening
so
in March up here in DTC.
I know. I've scoped out the location. It's fantastic.
The event last Saturday was their biggest day since their grand opening.
Oh, it's wonderful. Now, Mike, we will say that for the Mike Boyle listeners, they will give ample warning before I'm going to show up somewhere in public. Everybody should be well aware of that. Just I never know. We'll let you know. We'll give you weeks in
All
advance.
right. Thank you, Mike Boyle. Mike Boyle
Thanks,
Restaurant
Thank you, guys.
Show. Go to MikeBoyle.com, MikeBoyle.com for more information on that. All right, let's talk Ashbaugh Center for Therapy. Look, if pain's slowing you down, you deserve care that's focused on you, not a crowded physical therapy clinic where you bounce between clinicians. At Ashbaugh Center for Therapy, every visit is one-on-one with a licensed physical therapist in a private treatment room. So you get their full attention from start to finish. The barriers that are keeping you from seeking help from chronic back pain, joint stiffness, or recovery from surgery are erased at Ashbaugh Center for Therapy because they do things differently. Billy, tell them more.
Yeah, here's the cool thing with Ashbaugh Center for Therapy. Now, if you are someone that you know has gone through that physical journey where they need treatment, maybe it's post-surgery or something's just wrong with them, either way, you need to have something that's manipulated, done, that's just not working right. Well, how many of us have had that situation, and I have too, where you end up and you're looking around the room going, did I just join the NFL Combine? I'm not comfortable doing the Underwear Olympics here thing, because you're working out in front of everybody else. And the therapist comes over and hands you a couple of bands, hands you a ball, says, pull this thing on the wall, do 15 of them, and I'll be back in a second after I talk to 5 more people. At Ashbaugh Center for Therapy, it is simply different. It is personal, and it is private. There's no large gym. First thing that Jeff and I noticed when we walked into the waiting area, the reception room, we're like, there's only offices. Where the hell does everybody work out? And that's when the staff there said, no, we do it in the office and we close the door. So these sessions, unlike the, quick scan, like 20, 30 minutes you get at other places, they run about 45 minutes because this is a personal conversation and hands-on manipulation, and each and every exercise is supervised by the clinician. That makes Ashbaugh different, and this is how different they are. They don't advertise except here. Now, it's not because we're super special. It's because Ashbaugh has done such good work. Most of their new clients come from word-of-mouth referrals. Think about that as far as a restaurant in your neighborhood. If you found out there was a restaurant, maybe it didn't even have a big sign out front. It was just sitting there. You didn't know what it was. And you find out that they are packed every single night because everybody in the neighborhood talks about them. And that's where you go. That's what you're getting with Ashbaugh. You're getting the best kept secret in personal therapy in Colorado, and you're going to get it for a great price because they proudly accept Medicare along with most other insurances. Their Medicare deal will allow you to get a treatment once every other week. Okay? You can't pass on this one. If you or someone in your family needs help, something that's chronic back pain, joint stiffness, recovering from surgery, this is the first place you got to stop. The personal private care you've been looking for. Ashbaugh Center for Therapy. Visit them online, ashbaughpt.com. That's ASHBAUGH. pt.com, or call 303-756-3388. 303-756-3388. ashbaughpt.com. They're personal, private, and most importantly, focused on you.
More of the Jeff and Bill Show to come, 710 KNUS in Denver.
And now on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs, where they've got the really good chicken salad chick. Love that place. Okay, this is the Jeff and Bill Show. I'm a little bit hungry this morning. We'll be back right after this.
710 KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs.
All along the Front Range, this is the Jeff and Bill Show where you hear both sides. Speaking of that, would you go to Mexico? That was the debate that popped up yesterday. We had the former acting director of the DEA, like the big guy, on with us, and he's going, no, it's an ISIS camp down there. Don't go down there. There's literally cartels lighting gas stations on fire and digging up streets, and they're responding to the hit that took place of the cartel boss at his love shack up in the mountains. So I would stick away for a while. The CIA, the State Department, all saying, nah, don't go. But then you run into these guys, and Mike Boyle being one of them, and I saw this guy on social media that's going, oh, this is the best time to go. Everyone's heightened alert. Security extra strong, and it's cheap. So you should totally go. Would you go to Mexico? Let's go to the phone lines. Neil in Wheat Ridge. Good morning, Neil. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Good morning.
Hey, I told Bill that my son had been on a cruise sometime back down to Mexico, and it was during spring break, the way, and Mike was talking about that. But just a funny situation. He was there with his grandfather, but they had a spring break crowd going on board the ship. And my son's going down to dinner. He's taking the elevator down, and there was a young kid on there trying to fiddle with his outfit. I guess he was trying to tie a tie or something. He was a little bit inebriated. But he says, "Can you help me?" And my son looks at him and says, "Not really. That's not a tie. That's a cummerbund."
Oh, that's funny. And then he was trying to tie the cummerbund around his neck there other than, geez. Now, okay, Neil, would you go to Mexico? Like right now, let's say that you had something planned, maybe a trip, not spontaneous, but you and the family, whoever you want to include, had got something planned. You've got something booked. And then things got loose recently inside of Mexico. If you had plans to travel, let's say the next 7 to 10 days, would you go or not? Why? Why not? What would the choice be for you and your family?
If we already had plans to go, I probably would. For us, it would be something like Puerto Vallarta. And the reason is our church, one of our missionaries that we support, he and his wife, are in Puerto Vallarta, and we have not heard from them in regards to anything negative happening with them. And so if we had the opportunity, yeah, we definitely would go.
Interesting. Do you think that is okay there? And this, I'm just spitballing here between you, me, and Jeff. Then, do you think that there is any increased or heightened danger to Americans going down there? Just gut level. I'm not talking about what CIA tells us. I'm not talking about anybody else is telling us right now. I'm just like, yeah, just gut level. Do you think that the drug cartels down there would have extra motivation to kidnap or hang on to an American, or do you think that they've got bigger fish to fry and they're going to go after Mexican government? I'm just thinking, perception-wise, what do you think?
I think that have so much going on that they're going to be looking at those that are in government. I think Americans would be fine. I know they've been kind of caught up in the hotels and that kind of thing, being told to stay shut in for a while. But I think the cartels would be too busy trying to exact their revenge against those that they felt created their problems for them. I don't think they're going to touch Americans.
Yeah, Neil, I think you're right about that. And thanks for the phone call. And hopefully he gives us a call again. I think you're right about that. And in part why I would feel safer right now if I was going to Mexico, just because I would feel that the local law enforcement would, as Mike Boyle had shared with us, put a clamp down on those resort towns and areas because they don't want to give the appearance of Americans being kidnapped. And I'll finish the thought. The reason why, because the Trump administration has got an itchy trigger finger to move military into Mexico for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so you don't want to give the Trump administration at this point, when there is a potential of a simmering drug war, a reason to come in. Yeah.
Remember that skit?
Yep, do it. Yeah, do it.
They're just waiting.
Yeah. They're just
Give
waiting.
them a reason.
Yeah, that's why I think that if I
The
was
guys
in
that
charge,
could get
there's no
shot
way.
4 times can fly their helicopters in there.
Yeah.
That's who we have.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is I would think that you'd pull back and say, "Don't screw with the Americans right now, because we don't want to, bite off and get into a skirmish, or because they're just saying, hey, the Mexican government can't take care of it. Look at what's getting off the chain right now. Look how crazy it's been. So we have to send in troops to quote help."
Can I just take a moment to reflect on how different it would be if Joe Biden was the president or Kamala Harris? Wait, what's going on?
Yeah,
all right,
it's a good point.
speaking of
It's fair.
Game Day Men's Health, we love this company. Here's my report right here. Game Day Men's Health. Look at that. Right there.
Yeah.
It's got all my statistics and data inside.
Now here's cool.
to
You
help
got
me
you
be
got
a
your test
dude.
while you're waiting. I did too. So we went in there. We got the
it's
T-test.
quick.
We're hanging out there. Yeah. So continue.
All right, guys. As we get older, things change. Maybe you haven't been feeling like yourself, more tired, more fatigued, and more stressed than you want to admit. And we hear it all the time. Men are feeling that spark of energy fade. Lower energy means always feeling like you just can't get out of second gear. Game Day Men's Health has a solution for you. Their motto: helping guys be better dads, better husbands, and better men. Billy, take it away.
Yeah, and here's the cool thing. Listener of the show, Raphael, he was feeling that lethargy. He was getting a little bit of that tiredness late in the day. He heard us talking about game day. He walked in just about a week or 2 ago, and he took the test. He's a little bit low. He is now going in to get his shots, and he said the difference it has made in his life is fantastic, because low testosterone doesn't just drain your confidence. It causes that fatigue, that weight gain. You've been working harder to lose those pounds, and they're just not going anywhere. Low T. Loss of muscle. You're working out as hard as you can inside the gym. You're not seeing gains. You maybe even seeing things go backwards, and you don't have the effort. You can't get that last set done. Low T. It even can increase your risk of heart disease and diabetes, something I'm really concerned about. That's part of the reason I'm getting the shot at Game Day Men's Health. Here's a cool thing. They have got locations all around the metro: Aurora, Cherry Creek, Parker, Inglewood, Thornton. You don't have to search to find the closest one to you. They've got a website specially made for us. GameDayKNUS.com. GameDayKNUS.com. You can make an appointment right there to get your free testosterone check at that website. Make the appointment right there. It's a free T-check. And then you go in there. It is done while you wait. They take a look at your numbers. They do some other blood testing things. And then you talk about your plan going forward. What makes sense for you? This is what's cool. They personalize it to you, and they are so confident in their program, they don't make you sign a year-long or multi-year contract like those other places do. Those other places oftentimes come in with an accountant person and a credit card swiper and go, most of our clients have to finance the, hang on. If they're talking to you about financing some of this stuff, don't you want to see if it works first? That's a deal with Game Day. They go month to month with you because they are that confident in the product and the ability of their clinicians to nail down exactly what's going wrong with your T and your hormone levels. We trust them. I was just in there yesterday and got my shot, and it was so cool. RJ, the owner of the, that's a proprietor of the Aurora shop, his oldest, going to get married, and I got to meet the lucky guy that is going to tie the knot with his oldest daughter. It's like a family there. And Rodney was filling out at the front desk. He was helping out because it's that small business attitude with a national footprint. You get the best of both worlds. Trust the people that we trust, the people that are making a difference in our lives. I've got more energy than I ever have before, and my kids are really appreciating it, and I'm not falling asleep. I was going to get to that, yeah, and wife's appreciating the bed too. But that's for our After Hours OnlyFans show. So, okay, Game Day Men's Health. I'm getting in trouble for that one. Okay, Game Day Men's Health.
Yeah,
Check
you
them
are.
out. I am. Aurora, Cherry Creek, Parker, Inglewood, and Aurora. The website is GameDayKNUS.com to schedule your free T-check today. GameDayKNUS.com. Do what Raphael did. Take the test, get the check, see where you are, then make plans with Game Day after that.
More of the Jeff and Bill Show to come, 710 KNUS in Denver.
And now on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs. This is where you get to hear both sides, and sometimes I'm making inappropriate comments. I can't help myself. Yeah, I know. We'll be back after this. It's the Jeff and Bill Show.
710 KNUS in Denver.
And now on AM 1460 FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs.
All along the Front Range, this is the Jeff and Bill Show, where you get both sides. And Four Corner Steve texting in right now.
Yeah.
His son-in-law and daughter left for Puerto Vallarta Thursday morning. Things are as normal as they can be. Seating on their plane 75% empty. Bill, I think we've come up with a new whole idea for travel. Just go wherever terrorist attacks are. Just like the minute that they're done. Obviously not live in the midst of a terrorist attack. But once they're done, well, boy, we take you on quite a trip.
I like what you're thinking there. I think we need to go talk to the sales department after the show wraps up here in about 15 minutes. I think we have seen an undervalued opportunity for travel and tourism. Let's see if we can get that, the Jeff and Bill disaster tour.
Which would fit with the show.
Yeah, it would.
For 4 hours a day, you
exactly
get to join us on a little bit of a disaster tour.
I know. It would be so appropriate. Yeah, you think we cause fires in the morning. Yes.
Like, you could go around and look at where, like, the things exploded and where the cartels lit a gas station on fire.
Yeah, what happened. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Steve's also texting us, you can confirm an armored car down in Mexico on your Uber trip.
Wait, hang on. But
Did you see this picture that Four Corner Steve sent in?
I just saw. Wait,
$200.
But do you see the one at the bottom?
Seats.
Do you see the bottom one on the list there?
The armored tank. That can't be real. Then this has got to be fake.
Oh, come on, please let it be real, please. I want to Uber
I think
a
Four
tank.
Corner Steve's
It's got
messing
treads
with
on
us.
it too, so it's gonna go through this. It'll tear up the. Oh man, I want to show up in a tank. I want that. That's what we need is a remote vehicle.
Steven's texting in, a beach in Mexico right now is safer than where Lee Keltner got shot.
Ow.
Yeah.
I can't argue with it, but ow. I love the sharpness of that comment. That hurts, but it's good. Yeah. It's very
what
appropriate.
is safer right now?
Yeah,
16th Street Mall or a beach in Puerto Vallarta?
Yeah, I know.
If you had to go to one, which one would you go to?
It's a good question. Do I have to take a bodyguard? Because I think that seems to be the problem here is who employs people as bodyguards? That's a kind of an issue. Yeah, because not vetting that properly, very, very bad.
I had a bodyguard and got assaulted in downtown Denver.
I know, but only kicked.
So yeah, right. So I'm going to Puerto Vallarta right now. I think that would be
the
fine.
problem for me is that at Puerto Vallarta, that means being 100. This body ain't beach ready. I should not. And I either have to be the person that all the other tourists take pictures of and say, oh my God, can you believe this guy came here on the beach and took his shirt off and ran around in this Speedo swimsuit? Or, and I'm doing that on purpose to stick that image in your mind. You're going to be stuck with that the entire weekend. The other part is, though, or I'm that guy with the black socks and the sandals and I've got the long shirt on and the big floppy hat. And I'm running around with the metal detector on the beach. I got two choices there. Neither one's a good look.
Have you ever done metal detecting?
Only once. I find it fascinating.
I have one.
You do?
I do it around the house or around our ranch after we put in new fencing to make sure we get up all the nails and stuff. But it's amazing what you'll find.
Oh, yeah. I think it's fantastic. I love the idea of just kind of wandering around in the park, etc.
Yeah.
But then, I think it's very fun. I'm hoping that in my sundown years, I'll be able to go out and do that. Because I think it's kind of fun.
I could see you doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of folks fleeing hot spots, Fox News was reporting that non-essential staff, embassy staff in Israel, has been asked to leave.
Oh, that's not good.
Now, the attacks typically come on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. But
I don't think Trump wants all-out war.
No.
With Americans' boots on the ground.
No.
He has carved out this little place where he does just enough to make him feel the pain.
Yeah, because he was the no more foreign wars guy. So it's hard for him to get into any lengthy conflict and still hold on to that idea. And one of the things during the election that we heard all the time was the world was safer when Trump was around. There were no wars that were started. And so when you play in that arena and you start doing this with military action, you increase the likelihood of those conflicts getting larger. So it's a delicate line he has to walk. And personally, I think it's somewhat difficult to only go in there, do a little bit, and then back away. Because Is that changing things? It's like the Venezuelan thing when we ain't the leadership, but the person that fills in is theoretically more on the left than Maduro was. Now, there is some interesting stuff with people being thrown out of the government and some changes there. So there are some positive things that we can take from it. But I'm not convinced nor sold on the idea that we've had regime change in Venezuela to make it more friendly to democracy or the Western U.S. I don't know.
Jason in Denver texting in, Rubio's heading to Tel Aviv today.
Oh.
So what's your over-under, Bill? What do you think the likelihood of an attack on Iran happening this weekend?
Ooh, geez. I'm trying to go back through my head right now to there is a military analyst that I watch on social media that comes at things. I know the person's personal bias, but it is not significant for it to really color, and they're really, really solid on just black and white information. And I'm trying to remember what they were talking about as far as the buildup in the area of Iran. I want to say they recently were talking about the fact that there was some air support and other things that moved in the area that said it made an attack more likely based on the buildup, because this person says, don't listen to any administration, what they're saying, watch what they do. And how they move military equipment around will tell you exactly what their intent is. So I don't recall them saying that it looked imminent, but this military analyst said once they did a couple of things off the coast of Venezuela, they felt an attack was going to happen in the next month, and it happened 2 weeks later. So I don't recall. So I don't know. My guess would be, I would say about an 80% shot, because we've done the, hey, you got to negotiate, and then there's been no negotiation. But what about you? What do you think?
I think it comes this weekend, maybe next weekend at the latest. But and I think it's tactical. I think it's surgical. The way they hit with the bombs on the
I
nuclear
want to explore that
reactor,
with you in a sec, but yeah, continue.
all that stuff. So that's where I think it is.
Now, when you talk about tactical, do they go after the same nuclear things? Or are we hitting different areas?
I think they're going after the leadership.
Oh, okay. So we're not looking at facilities. We're going after leadership.
And
okay.
I think what I'm watching is Trump sends a message with his foreign policy that you don't do what we want you to, you get capped. But he's not the type of guy that's like, I need to control everything you do moving forward. And that message, it's kind of like the mob boss message, where it's like, I don't need to run your organization, but you're going to do what I tell you to do now.
Yeah.
And so I think you may see a surgical strike at the leadership of Iran that takes them out. He'll allow the vacuum stuff to kind of happen, but the message is sent. The dawn is in control. If you don't do what we tell you to do, there's another one coming for you, and we'll just work our way through.
This may be, oddly enough, over the previous 6 weeks of the show, this may be the point in which we have the most agreement upon that he operates like a mob boss, and he is the Don. Because I do think that's a lot of his worldview, and I can see what you're saying about how that would influence and enact his foreign policy. I think you're correct. That's got a lot to do with it, that it's, I will take you out if I need to, but you're going to do business as long as I feel it's good to do business with you. And if not, something's going to change. And it may be you being unalived. Yeah, I can see that. That may be it's a great way to end the show.
We finally found this right up. Venezuela. We're not, we have, I think, more, like a better working relationship with what's happening in Venezuela than we did before. He's not down there trying to control everything on it. He's like, my boys, the oil and gas guys, they're going to get to work down here. You're going to let them do their work. We're going to get access to some of this. And if you don't, well, you saw how that happened to the previous guy.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That you play it, then how does he? Because the oil and gas don't want to go down there right now because it's not secure. It's, as Chevron said, not investable.
I don't know. I think they are working down there. All right,
we'll see.
We'll see. We'll be back on Monday if the Dawn allows us to be.
Me especially.
if Bill's Mrs. Bill allows him after the last
for what I
commercial
said.
read.
I know. I'm gonna have some explaining to do.
Have a great weekend. If you missed any of the show, especially Lauren Boebert joining us to explain what happened behind closed doors with the Clintons, go to 710knus.com. You're not going to want to miss that interview. That was during the 7 o'clock interview, 7 o'clock hour, and it was fantastic. But we'll be back next week. You're listening to the Jeff and Bill Show, News Talk 710, KNUS in Denver.
And on AM 1460, FM 101.1, The Answer in Colorado Springs. We made it together. It is finally Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Remember,